Ooh, thousand-fold arms. Gah! Articles are sneaking up on me when I'm in the middle of focusing on video games. Avatar, Netflix's live-action series needs... Oh, here we go. Really, you need... CBR, what's your problem? What's your deal? What is the deal with this modern day need to change and rearrange, fix things that didn't already have it? Hello everyone, I am Mecha Random 42, the one, the only, the original, still your favorite YouTube consumer advocate harpy. Apparently, according to CBR, we need representation from the alphabet community in the new live-action version of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Okay, first off, we don't need a live-action Avatar: The Last Airbender. Period. We don't. And I can barely even say it. That's a mouthful. That's a really big mouthful. Second, I do not, as somebody in that community, do not need any more bland, generic, token alphabet representation that is only there just so that a writer for an article like CBR can go around and get a queerbait click from me or from anybody in the community, just so you have a character that can represent people whose only identity is their alphabet or their orientation, their ethnicity, their gender, their personality replacement. And that's what this is. And I even responded on my tweet. I said, no, it doesn't. I'm LGBTQ and we're tired of being reduced to just a label so people can see their personality substitution represented on screen. And that's what it feels like to me. This is just another label. I am more than just a label. I am more than just who I do the giggity with. Thank you very much. And it's not like we're even going to get any hot girl and girl giggity either. We're just going to get somebody who's just there to go around and show up and say, oh, I'm an alphabet. I'm part of this community. Look how I represent you at home on screen. I don't want to see myself on screen. I see myself constantly, all day, day in, day out. I have a YouTube channel. I know not everybody does, but you would think with all the people who sit there with their cell phones on Twitter talking all day, every day about their personality replacement, you would think that they're used to seeing themselves because they're in everything, all over everything. They're constantly everywhere. They're in every corner, nook of every little bit of everything. They're in every franchise that is failing. And I'm not talking about just the alphabet community. I'm talking about the tokenism. I'm talking about the labels over characters. And nobody is anti-diversity. Nobody is anti-seeing other people in other walks of life. And one place we get that is through science fiction and fantasy. What are you doing? You are just using us for a click at this point, aren't you, Rachel Roth, if that is your real name? Avatar: The Last Airbender was an intelligent, quick-witted series that was ahead of its time. I've heard really good things about it. I know I'm not the hugest animated sort of person, but hey, set in a world inspired by Asian cultures where some people, known as benders, can manipulate the elements using variants of martial arts. The animated series used as its backdrop a global war that touched upon topics not commonly presented in children's programming, like colonialism and other things. Also, thank you so much, Shadow Ninja. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you guys do like the content, like, subscribe, share. I really, really appreciate it. Subs get jiggles. And if you do sub while I happen to be making a video, I bounce, obviously, because why not? And here's the thing. I always saw the Avatar: The Last Airbender a little closer to the anime sort of genre, a little closer to taking on more rich, in-depth topics than just a bunch of random imagery that are in a lot of current modern-day animation for younger people. It's just random stuff, random jokes, just some weird, randomly inserted thing just to make you go, why is this here? What is going on? Yeah, the random humor that can be funny from time to time if it's done well and set up in the right way. But a lot of the time it's just there to be random, and it's just there to change direction of a show because they forgot where they were going. They dropped a joke, it didn't take, it was just crickets in the room, and then they have to go somewhere randomly because unexpected and funny.
You want to see my crank?
Yeah, like that. And I get that has its place, but if you want something a little bit more in depth, you go probably more, I hate to say it, go to more anime, go to the more Eastern sort of storytelling, because they're not going to censor it. They don't allow a lot of the censoring. And that was something that a lot of my friends in the anime community absolutely have told me about Avatar Last Airbender, is that it is accepted in that whole circle, much like Ruby was before all the shenanigans that was going on with that show. Don't get me started on that show. But hey, here's the whole thing though. Don't use us as tokenism. Don't use us for clicks. Don't use us for all. See, here you go. However, it wasn't until the release of the sequel, Legend of Korra, that the identity was finally explored in the franchise. And this is the common thread that I see in this Twitter feed of the people. They say, yeah, just leave it to Korra. That was where you kind of go into that, right? That was where people were. I think that was a little slightly older of a demographic, maybe a couple of years older. This one was a little bit younger. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. Like its parent show, Legend of Korra addressed multiple socio-political issues, but it went even further. Yeah, but from my understanding, having only seen the movie of Avatar Last Airbender and seeing clips here and there of the cartoon series, this is one of those things where it wasn't super over the top, hitting you on the head with it by making it so modern day. And maybe that's why I didn't really get into these sort of shows, because I don't care about the social political issues at all. I don't want them in my entertainment at all. I'm almost to the point where I'd rather see a bunch of random imagery on the screen than have to deal with all these heavy topical things where people have to discuss and tell you their opinions and their feelings on it and oh no, I don't care anymore. I care what you guys say, but I don't care about what some random SJW is taking out of a cartoon series to identify and apply it to real world politics. Well, I do not care about that at all. You know what? You want to give me a debate on the trade treaties and all that stuff in Star Wars Episode 1, sure, go right at it. Just don't bring me into it when we're comparing modern day stuff and saying, see, this is this. Because as much as I can take of some of these modern day political sort of insertions into my entertainment is, well, this kind of reminds me of a combination of these three things that are going on. And this is why I like Babylon 5 so much, because it's not specifically this is an allegory for this. This is supposed to represent this thing right here, and if you don't understand that, we are going to beat you over the head with it over and over and over and over. Like, I don't care anymore. But it wasn't even further beyond the boundaries of youth entertainment by creating Alphabet Plus characters, something Avatar wasn't ready to do when it aired. Maybe it didn't care. Maybe it didn't matter. Maybe it wasn't relevant to the topic. Maybe it's not relevant to the subject matter. I thought this was about all these worlds coming together with their different powers and, the fighting each other's enemies, because you got one guy who can bend water, and one guy who can bend air, and one guy, or girl, or chick, I'm misspeaking. I'm sorry. I'm just kind of vaguely remembering the movie with the giant penis hair chick for about a minute there, and the guy from Twilight, one of the weird vampires from Twilight, not the main one of the weird ones. I'm off on a tangent again. I apologize. The series introduced several characters who identified as, I don't care what they identify as. I'm not gonna watch it if you've got all that shit in that cartoon. Sorry, I don't care. It's irrelevant. It is not, you know what? If I want to know who people are doing the giggity with, I'm gonna watch something a little bit, I don't know, more suggestive than a show for younger people. I'm going to watch something that's going to, I don't know, show me some of it. Because guess what? Every time I see these shows, especially shows like Star Trek, all these modern shows, and even if they have an M rating, they still wuss out and they don't even show you the giggity. They don't even show you any of that. It's like, okay, what's the point in introducing Seven of Nine in Star Trek as bi if we don't even see it? I mean, Star Trek in the 90s had the balls to do it. How much of this? The series didn't do it all by itself, yada yadas, the books, who cares? Yeah, I don't really have anything more to say to this article other than I don't need to see it in a show that's supposed to be aimed at a young person. Because you know what? When I was a younger person, I was reading stuff like The Babysitter's Club. I was reading the Archie comics. I was watching and reading stuff age appropriate. I didn't care because it wasn't relevant at the time to the subject material. It's like when I'm reading a Babysitter's Club book and they're asking on the Mary Sue if Christy's gay. I don't care. She's 11 or 13. Doesn't matter. It's not relevant to the story at all, and it's kind of creepy that you want to kind of shove this stuff into these things, especially where they're not relevant. I don't care. I don't want to see it. If they start using those sort of things to market these things, then I don't want it. And furthermore, why do we need a live action Avatar the Airbender in the first place? We already had that crappy movie. For crying out loud, we already have one, and it wasn't very good. I guess this one's supposed to be a little closer. I've ranted about this as much as I have the energy to. Tell me what you guys think in the comments section below. I am Mecha Random 42, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye.